Everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, or even good morning, depending on where you're tuning in from. We are super excited for you to be here tonight. We are super excited to be here with you tonight. We are David and Heather Warden from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we're really excited to share a little piece of technology with you tonight, a little tool that got shared with us about, 8 or 9 months ago that has completely changed our life. It's changed my family's life. It's changed our kids. I mean, it's been a complete blessing. So we are here tonight to hopefully introduce you. If you're brand new tonight, you're going to want to thank the person that invited you, because this is a life-changing little piece of technology, a tool that's going to absolutely change your life, just like it has changed our life. And so we want to tell you a little bit about our kind of our testimony. I'll share mine, kind of what it's done for me, and then I'll let Heather kind of tell her story. But so I got a call from a good friend of mine, Mike and Sahi Hernandez, about 8 or 9 months ago. And it's funny because we were visiting my parents down in Texas, and we were on the golf course, and my phone starts blowing up. I'm getting a call, hang up, call, hang up, call, hang up. And it was Mike. And he sent me a text and he said, "Bro, I'm going to blow your phone up until either you call me back or you block me." He said, "It's that important." So I texted him back. I was laughing, I was cracking up, and I texted him back. I said, "Hey, I'm on the golf course with my folks. I'll call you as soon as I'm done." And he's like, "Oh, sorry." He's like, "Yes, please call me back. It's that important. It's urgent that you get back with me." So, I called him and I said, "What's up?" And he said, "Man, I've got something I got to share with you." And he goes, "Do you know anything about stem cells?" And actually, at the time, I was reading a book by Tony Robbins called Lifewave, which is all about stem cell technology. It's really about, stem cell injections, and how he believes that stem cell therapies are the future of medicine. So I just happened to be reading this book, and he calls me and he asked me, "Do I know anything about stem cells?" And I said, "Well, actually, a little bit. I'm reading this book." And so anyway, he said, "I've got something I need to share with you." And he said, "Do you have any pain by chance?" And I said, "Well, actually, I do. I've got left knee pain that I got an injury from working out at the gym doing some squats." And I said, "And I've got low back pain that I've had for probably 10 or 15 years. And so he said, "You got to try this patch." And so I said, "Okay." And I just trusted him. He was a friend of mine. We've done business together in the past. We've been friends for about, 18 years or so. And so I went ahead and we signed up. We ordered some patches. We got them in, and very quick on the knee pain. Took about 3 weeks or so for the back pain to completely go away. We hear about all these one patch wonders, or as soon as somebody puts a patch on, that same day they're getting a benefit. So, but it's been life changing for us. And now I'll kind of let Heather sort of tell her testimony about what it did for her.
Yeah. So when David was on the phone with Mike, I was kind of listening on the side to what they were saying. And when he got off, I was like, "Well, so what is it?" And he said, "Well, it's a stem cell patch." And I said, "Okay, well, is he sending us some to try?" And David said, "Yeah." And I go, "Well, how much is it just to go ahead and order?" And so we kind of went down that road. Yeah. And I said, "Okay, it's a 30-day money back guarantee." I had already thought of reasons why I had wanted to try it, why I wanted other people to try it. So I was like, let's just order it. Like, let's just go ahead and sign up and get it going. So that's what we did. First day I wore the patch, didn't really notice anything. Next day, so much energy. I mean, as a mom, I'm busy and running all the time. And by the end of the day, I was just like not feeling like cooking dinner, not feeling like picking up the house, not feeling like working out. And I had my energy back, and it felt like youthful energy. It didn't feel like a caffeinated coffee high energy. So that was the first big thing that I noticed. The other thing was, I'm trying to remember the timeline now, but I had diverticulitis, which my grandfather had. I don't know if, it was just kind of like a genetics thing and I was bound to get it anyway, or if it was maybe stress or something else. I sure felt stressed the last couple of years for sure, as I'm sure a lot of people have. But that was really for me what I was hoping that it would help with the most, because my gut was just torn apart from the disease, from the antibiotics. I felt inflamed everywhere. I didn't really realize that it was inflammation. I just always felt like, oh, I could just use a shoulder massage or a foot massage, or I'd be rubbing on my hands. And so a massage always sounded good to me. It was, gosh, I wish I could remember how long it was, maybe 2 weeks, when my stomach started feeling better, my joints started feeling better. I was just able to move better. So all that inflammation was just being released from my body. So that was a huge blessing.
Yeah, so that's kind of our testimony. So we want to get into just kind of go through a quick little presentation. I've been practicing on this presentation because there are a lot of people that do these presentations every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and they just crush it. So I've been really practicing to try to do as well as they do. And I've got it down very quickly. I can do it in just about 4 hours. So buckle up. Just kidding. No. We're going to bust through this. We're going to respect everybody's time, but we're going to quickly go through a little presentation. We're going to get into kind of what X39 is, how does it work, and all that. So start off, we want to ask you, have you been patched yet? Well, if you haven't, get with the person that told you to hop on here tonight and say, hey, I want to be patched. It's time to get patched, because you put this patch on your body and let it do its thing, and your body will start to do its thing. And so it's called X39, and the name of the company is called Lifewave. And so X39 is a stem cell reactivation patch. And so, as we age, we have fewer and fewer active stem cells. When we were first created and we were an embryo, the very first cell in our body was a stem cell. It created everything. It created our heart, our brain, muscles, bones, ligaments, tendons, cartilage, you name it, it created everything. So, as we age, we lose that stem cell activity. So hundreds of millions of people are experiencing the aging process. And it really kind of starts at about age 30. Because you're going to lose about 50% of your stem cell activity. It's a little different for every person, but roughly 50% of your stem cell activity is going to diminish, going to go inactive, dormant by the time you're 30. So that's kind of when the aging process begins. Now, you can't really tell it just yet, but then about 60 years old, that's probably when you can really tell the aging process, because that's when you're maybe down to about 10% stem cell activity, give or take a little bit, depends on the person. But that's when the aging process really becomes obvious, becomes apparent. Everything kind of heads south, doesn't it? Our energy level, our skin, you name it. You wake up and all of a sudden you hurt. You're like, why do my knees hurt? I didn't do anything. You're tired all the time. You bump yourself, you bruise real easy. You cut yourself. It takes forever to heal. So when we lose stem cell activity, that's when everything starts to head south. But you don't have to if you apply this patch. And so how does this patch work? When I first got introduced to it, I was thinking, so I was asking Mike, I was like, so does it put stem cells into your body? And he's like, no, it doesn't do anything like that. So all it does is you apply it to your body, and it's kind of, it elevates a specific peptide called GHK. And that's really, if you Google GHK, that's a copper peptide. If you Google that copper peptide, you will see it is the holy grail of age reversal, not just anti-aging, but age reversal. So when you put this patch on your body, it's going to reflect. The only thing that's on this patch are little organic nanocrystals. So it's non-transdermal, it's non-invasive. What does that mean? When you put it on your body, it's not sending anything into the blood. So if you are on any prescriptions, it's not going to interfere with anything like that, because it's not sending anything into the blood. You put it on your body and it simply acts as a mirror. It starts reflecting the infrared light that we all produce. Every one of us produce infrared light. If you walked outside in pitch darkness and I looked at you through night vision goggles, you would be glowing. That's because you produce infrared light. So whenever you put this patch on your body, the patch acts as a mirror and it reflects that infrared light back into your body, which then elevates those copper peptides that we all have. And when you elevate that specific copper peptide, it reactivates a youthful stem cell in your body. Now, I will tell you what this patch does not do. Let me start by saying what it does not do. This patch does not treat, mitigate, or cure anything. It's just putting your body in a natural reboot to where your own stem cells can do the curing, can do the healing, or the repairing. So the patch isn't doing anything except for elevating that GHK peptide, and it's your own body's stem cells that start the healing and repairing process.
Love that about it.
And so Lifewave was launched about 19 years ago. And what I like about that is it's not a startup. You know, a lot of startups never really get started before they crash. And so
That's right.
this company was doing just about 20 million a year in sales, which I would love to have a company that was doing 20 million a year in sales. And they did that for about the first probably 16, 17 years in business until they launched X39. And once they launched X39, they went from doing 20 million a year to 280 million last year. And we're open in 75 countries too. So this little patch is obviously, it's changing lives. If you go from 20 million to 280 million last year, just in a 2-year span, that product must work. And so here is the inventor, the CEO, Mr. David Schmidt. And we got the pleasure of hanging out with David at Steve and Gina Merritt's home just a couple of weekends ago. Got to meet him, got to have dinner at Steve and Gina's house, and just got to listen to his heart and listen to really what I'm most excited about is where we're going, what's coming, because this company has changed the lives of so many people, especially in the last couple of years. But what's going to happen in the next few years is unbelievable. He shared a little bit, not too much. You know, he didn't want to let the cat out of the bag, but this man is a 2-time recipient, as you can see, in the Advanced Technology Hall of Fame. And so he is, what I like about David is he doesn't have somebody else manufacture this product. He is the inventor. He's the scientist. He's the developer of this patch, and then launched the company after he created the product. So he is the CEO. He is the inventor. He is the scientist. And I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody that has 1 or 2 patents. Maybe somebody on here knows somebody that's got a patent or 2. Mr. David Schmidt has over 130 patents. This guy is a genius and just such an inspiration. Whenever we were around him, I got a complete new belief in not like we didn't have a belief, but I mean, it just took it to the next level. Once we got to spend a little time with David Schmidt, just a phenomenal person. So I love that about the person that's running this company. And the cool thing about this, I just told you, he's got over 130 patents. Well, guess what? This little patch right here is patented. And so the great thing about that is, especially when you're talking about this industry being the network marketing industry, direct sales industry, multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it. The great thing about what we have versus what every other network marketing company out there has, which can be what we call another Me Too product, which is CBD or weight loss or skincare. And you know what?
Makeup.
Yeah. And whatever company that is may have the best makeup in the world, may have the best skincare in the world. But when you have to compete with Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, GNC, people that do commercials on TV, that even if that company's product is the best, it's hard to compete with where it's just in your face every time someone goes shopping at a Walmart or Target or wherever they go. So inside of the network marketing or even outside of the network marketing, no one has this. And it just got a patent, a global patent, I believe in July of 2020. So just two and a half years ago. So we've got 17, 18 more years of a run promoting a product that no one inside of our industry or even outside of our industry can compete with. We have it, and we are the only people that have it. So from a business standpoint, that is huge. That's what gets us excited about the business side of that. So do you have anything that you want to add to that before I skip to the next one? Okay, so what can you expect when you start wearing this patch? You know, these are some of the quick, rapid, short term. We're going to show you some long-term stuff too, but these are some of the things that you can expect when you start wearing the patch. And it's going to be different for every person. You know, what happens for me might not happen for Heather, or what happens for her didn't necessarily initially happen for me. But one of the very first things that most people can usually tell is rapid pain relief. Why? Because of number 2, it's helping to reduce inflammation. I don't know if you know, but pretty much every disease on the planet stems from inflammation. So if you can reduce inflammation in your body can help to fight off all kinds of dis-ease. And so supports wound healing, which is a huge one. Mental clarity. That was one thing that my mom, she's 75 years old and she had a stroke about 10 years ago, a minor stroke. And I could tell just the cognitive function just was not like it used to be. And since she's been wearing this patch, I mean, she told me, she was like, put me on a monthly order of this stuff. I don't ever want to run out. I just feel good wearing this patch. And so when you see your mom, I mean, my mom's 75 years old, she's never going to build a business, but you've got your hands on something when you have people that could care less about making money, but the product is changing their lives. And so same thing with my dad, enhanced sports performance, faster recovery from exercise. Our son is a huge all-time, full-time tennis player. I drop him off at 6:45 in the morning and Heather picks him up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's him playing tennis daily from that amount of time. So he has noticed a big difference in recovering from his tennis matches. He'll play 4 matches on a weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and he can tell how quickly he's recovering. And he's a teenager, 16 years old. So improved skin performance. I mean, after about 90 days of wearing this patch, your own collagen reproduction is going to start. So energy and vitality. These are some of the things that most people will notice in a very short amount of time. Do you have anything that you...
Yeah, it's been fun kind of to watch all of the different testimonies as people have been patching for, a week, a month, several months in a row. Our daughter, who's 20 and she's a sophomore at OSU, she was helping with, she's in a sorority and they do a kind of a pre-rush before the big one this summer. And so she was in high heels and afterward, she was on her feet all day. And afterwards she was like, I have messed my feet up, like permanently messed my feet up. And
she's kind of a drama queen.
I was like, it's fine. Like, just take your shoes off. You'll be okay. And she goes, no, I've Googled it. And it had there was some name for it. And it really was legit. Like, we've got a friend who's a physical therapist. And I was like, is there any exercises she can do? And she was like, no, I mean, something to do with the nerve. So it's like a permanent thing. And I said, I was just like, just put X39 on it. It will fix it. And it was like, okay. And I was like, no, seriously, it will fix it. Like, I wasn't concerned about it at all. I knew for a fact that if she was patching, that it would help with that inflammation, nerve, whatever was going on in her 2 toes that were completely numb. So, and so that's the funny thing is because when we first started sharing the patches, we were like, well, try this and see if it works. See if it works. Now I'm like, put it on, it'll work. You're good.
Or your body will work. You know, the patch is just elevating your, so, all right, let's go to the next slide. I'm a pretty visual person. So this one really hit home with me when I saw this topographical map of a woman's brain. This is a 77-year-old woman where place the patch on the back of the neck. And you can see in session 1 there, all that red, that's a lot of inflammation. So if you have a lot of inflammation, it's going to stop all kinds of things from the cognitive function or just mental clarity. And so you can see just in session 2, I think was just a few weeks later, look at all the blue and green. And then look at session 3, I believe that was in 6 weeks. So in just 6 weeks of wearing the patch, you can see a huge difference. So this isn't just anecdotal, folks. I mean, we've got 86 clinical studies, clinical trials done with these patches proving that it's doing what it says it's going to do, which is elevating the copper peptides, which is then reactivating your stem cells, and your own stem cells are doing what you see here in the photo. All right, so here's kind of some of the longer term effects. And, we talked about some short term quick effects. And so within the first few days, it's resetting about 1/3 of your genes. So about 4,000 of your genes are getting reset to a more youthful state. So that's why it's be able to reactivate a more youthful stem cell, because it's resetting your genes to a more youthful state. So within 6 weeks, you see right here that the brain starts to become balanced. Well, when you start balancing the left and right lobes of the brain, that's going to help with PTSD, stress, anxiety, anger, depression. So there's all kinds of things that can be helped once your stem cells start to balance your brain. And then within 3 months, collagen reproduction starts happening. So you'll start to see decreased wrinkles, or even we've heard some testimonies. We see before and after photos of people that we've shared it with that have been wearing the patches for about 6 to 7 months, and they are seeing hair regrowth, and some of them that gray hair is growing back in darker. So that's huge, for a lot of people. Increased structural integrity of the skeletal system and the muscular system. So that's what's going to happen in 3 months. And, collagen is the most amount of protein that's in our body, because skin is our biggest organ of the body. So if your body can start reproducing collagen, there's all kinds of joints are going to start feeling better. But this one right here, this last one, this one's huge. Now, this one you're not going to feel, but this is huge to know that a clinical study was done that they took a group of people that wore the patch for 6 months, and 14 out of the 15 people had their vascular age reversed by an average of 8 years. It was performing at an 8-year younger. So with heart disease being the number one killer in the world, I know you hear a lot about cancer, but heart disease is by far the number one killer in the world. If someone can reverse their whole cardiovascular system by an average of 8 years in just 6 months, that's huge. Think about what that could do if you're wearing the patch for 12 months, 18 months, 2 years. I mean, like Onyx Cole, she started wearing the patch. She didn't have any aches and pains, but she started wearing it, went to her periodontist a year later, and her gums, the pockets all had filled in. She didn't know that her pockets were filling in. She didn't know that her gums were, filling back in. That was something that her periodontist did x-rays and measured and saw that they'd filled in by 75% in 1 year. So she was just wearing it for the health benefits and didn't have any aches and pains. But then to go to her periodontist and he measures them and shows her in x-rays that they had filled in by 75%, that's huge. So there's all kinds of things that your own stem cells can do. They can become pluripotent. I learned that word recently, meaning that they can turn into whatever cell, your own stem cells can turn into whatever cell they need to turn into to heal, repair any part of your body. So like David Schmidt said, this is not anti-aging, it is age reversing. So that is huge. All right. So we have a website, and I love sending people this website. Why? Because a lot of times you'll send somebody to, especially if you've been in this industry, we've been in this industry since 2005, and we've never had a website, which, by the way, we can thank Onyx Cole for, thank you, Onyx Cole, for creating a website that doesn't show all the opportunity, income, free trips, all this stuff. This is an informational only website that has nothing to do with join or opportunity or anything like that. This is strictly an informational only website that you can send doctors to, because anyone that wants to do a deep dive into this or just a short dive, this is the website to send them to. startx39.com. They can see the clinical trials, they can see the patents, they can see testimonies, they can learn about the technology. It's all right there in one website that everybody can go to, no matter who you send there, and they can learn about it. But here's what's cool about it. They can't order it there. They can only learn about it. Then guess what? They have to get back with you and say, hey, how do I get this? I want to order some. Great. I'll send you a link. So that's what I love about this website, is there's nothing about, business join, opportunity, free trips, money, blah, 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 that most other companies have. When you send them to a replicated website, people kind of get lost in all that other stuff. And you just want a website that they can go and learn about the technology, and then they have to get back with you in order to order the product. So that's what I love about it. So how do you wear it? Well, glad you asked. So you only wear it for about 12 hours a day. So 12 hours on and 12 hours off. So we put a new one on every day. Best thing to do is leave it by your toothbrush. Hopefully you're brushing your teeth twice a day at least. So we leave ours by our toothbrush.
Stick the habit with the habit that you're already
Exactly.
doing.
Yeah. Because that's probably the hardest thing in the beginning, is just remembering to wear it, because you're not in the habit of doing it. So, we leave ours by our toothbrush, toothpaste, and we start brushing our teeth. Bam, we slap one on. You can shower in it. You can swim in it. You can work out in it, all that stuff. But, and then after about 12 hours, you peel it off and throw it in the trash. And the next morning you put a new one on. And as you see in the diagram here, C7, and then below the belly button, when David Schmidt was doing all the clinical studies, he wanted to stay consistent with where he placed those during the clinical study. So he chose two, acupressure points, C7, kind of that bone that protrudes out at the back of your neck, and then right below the belly button. Now you can literally, David said, you can literally wear this patch anywhere anywhere on your body, and it will elevate the GHK copper peptides, which then reactivates your own stem cells. So you don't have to wear it in these two spots, but a lot of people do because of the clinical studies.
If you wake up with shoulder pain or hip pain or sore knee, you can put it on there too. So
yeah. And so and if you just saw me drink some water, you absolutely want to drink water. You want to stay hydrated. I think David said about 60% of the people in the world are walking around dehydrated. So you want to drink plenty of water, stay hydrated, because that's actually going to help the patch work better on your body. So just remember 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And I always set a timer kind of so I don't forget, because sometimes if it's back here, I will forget, which, by the way, if you do place it back there and you forget, maybe start wearing it in a place where you see it and you can remember to take it off. Anything you want to add to that?
No,
okay.
That's good.
Uh-oh. We got to go back. Okay. All right. I got trigger happy with the slides. All right. So as you can see here, again, these are some visual testimonies, and you can see right there in the middle, this lady had a injury on her face, and look how quickly that healed. I mean, we have people sending us pictures, before and after photos of all kinds of things that are healing on their body. And you can see the lady, the 3 pictures of her face right there after, that was about a year later of wearing it, just all the wrinkles that have gone away. It looks like the skin is even kind of filled in with more collagen. You can see hair regrowth here. So again, when it comes to testimonies, we could keep you on here all night long with testimonies, but we're not going to. But we do have a couple of people that we would like to bring on to have them share their testimony instead of just hearing our testimony. And so the first person we'd like to bring on, we got 2 people that are going to share with us tonight. The first person we'd like to bring on is Mr. Keenan. Keenan, are you there? If so, just unmute yourself. And
I am here
too, if you could, please. We'd love to see your face.
Well, let's see if I can do that.
Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Can't hear you. I don't know if you can.
Okay, I hit
Right,
unmute.
just unmuted.
Okay.
So can you hear me now?
Oh, okay. I guess everybody else can hear him. We just can't hear him. Huh, strange.
Oh, okay.
There you are. There you are. Okay, we got you now.
I'm going to knock on the phone and go, is this thing on? No.
Yeah. Sorry, we had our volume turned on. That's what it was. But can you turn your camera on?
Well, for some reason, it's not showing me, and I don't want to cut myself off.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
I will say this. X39 came to me by way of one of my dear people. And so I automatically knew that if she was bringing this to me, it was going to be beneficial, but I didn't know how beneficial. I have so many things I can share because every time I think about it, it's something new that I don't have to deal with. Like I used to have sensitivity in my teeth to the point where I couldn't hardly drink cold water. I just realized it today that that's not happening anymore. But my major testimonial that I want to give is the fact that I went before my nephrologist. And for those of you that don't know, that's a kidney doctor because I am in dialysis. So when I went to see when I was going into treatment, my nephrologist comes up to me and he about tackled me. And he goes, "What in the world are you doing?" I said, "Listen to music." He looks at me and he goes, "No, seriously, like your numbers are off the chart," meaning great numbers. They were not great before, and I got to know what you're doing. And so I shared with him. I said, "Well, it's this little round patch you see on my neck." And he said, "Really?" And for him to give his endorsement and turn around and tell me, "You got to keep doing that because it's working." A nephrologist. We're not, and sometimes doctors may be willing to endorse it, but sometimes not. And he was all for it. So that to me, if I didn't know, or if I felt like I didn't have proof that it was working, that would have been an endorsement that would have definitely made my mind up. But I was already experiencing positive changes in my body. I was anemic before, and I was taking medication for it. I mean, I got probably 20 things I could share, but I won't. But I will just tell you this: if I can go before a nephrologist and he can ask me what I'm doing and tell me to keep doing it, I think X39 is going to be okay for whatever you're dealing with.
I think you should keep doing it if the doctor's telling you keep doing it, don't you?
Yes, sir.
That's
Awesome.
Keenan.
Awesome, Keenan. Hey, thank you so much for sharing your testimony. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. You guys have a great day.
You too. All right. Okay. So next up, we'd like to introduce Mr. Rob Boyd. Rob, are you on? If you are, unmute yourself and turn your camera on too, if you could, please.
All righty. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Gotcha.
Okay. I will try to keep this as short as possible. I kind of teased with David. Thank you for inviting me on. I could probably give a 35-minute dissertation on what it's done for me personally, but I'll try to cliff notes it. And thank you to Kevin Wilson, who introduced it to me at the beginning of September. I do have to paint a little foundation. September of last year, I had reached a very dark point in my life physically. I was in a lot of pain that goes everything from intestinal surgeries back from birth to a 20-foot fall off a bridge in 1988 where I landed on a concrete upright across the small of my back, a couple car wrecks, and 37 years of martial arts. So come August of last year, I own a small commercial cleaning company, and due to staffing, I was having to do a lot of cleaning myself. I would get in the van and I would literally start crying because I was in so much pain. I would be like, okay, Lord, what am I Paul? Is this like my thorn in the flesh? This is how I'm going to feed my family, but it's going to kill me. Well, Kevin calls me, and Kevin's the kind of guy that, he called me 2:00 in the morning. I'm going to answer. And he comes over and he says, I got something I want to share with you. And I was like, well, what is that? Is that like a nicotine patch? I was like, dude, I quit smoking 14 years ago. And he's like, no, this reactivates stem cells. And I was like, do what? Because I had just literally 3 days before finished that same book by Tony Robbins, Life Force, and thought, okay, Lord, I found the answer. Stem cell injections. Oh, wait, they start at $8,000? Okay, well, check that off as a maybe down the road somewhere when insurance decides to accept it or something. So he gave me something to try, and he told me, put it on the next morning. So I got up the next morning. This is the first couple of days of September. I put it on the back of my neck, got a phone call, had to answer some business emails, totally forgot about it. I've been in a very dark place because I was just so depressed. I hadn't worked out for like 7 months, and I don't like to use the word depressed, but there's no other term I could put on it. So I sat down on my front porch to start doing reading because I thought maybe if I put something positive in my head, and I'm reading, and all of a sudden, and I won't do it because it's so cheesy, but I started bouncing my pecs like I was Terry Crews. And I'm like, what is going on? I was like, man, I should go into the garage and I should hit the punching bag. I should go jogging. I don't jog. Kevin calls me to follow up and he's like, how you doing? And I was like, what in the world is in this thing? And he's like, why? I was like, dude, I am this side of like rainbows and butterflies. And he's like, really? It feels that great? I'm like, dude, I have not felt like this. I can't tell you how long I felt like this. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna have to look into this. But I'm scheduled for surgery on September 22nd. I got to focus on what's going on there. In the 9 months leading up to him giving me a patch, I'd had 9 abdominal blockages, 2 of which had hospitalized me. Life was not good for Rob. Me and God were having some serious conversations about, his sense of humor. So September 22nd, I have my surgery. September 23rd, my surgeon, who we're on a first name basis with, because this was his 6th time inside of me, fixing out what was ever going on. He comes in, a big sigh, and I'm like, Michael, what's going on? He's like, Rob, this was the worst. I go, what do you mean this was the worst? He's like, Rob, it took me an hour and a half to get through scar tissue. I had triple hernia and intestinal relocation surgery. He said, you are 54 years old. You're not going to recover from this very quickly. I said, okay, what do you mean? What does that look like? He said, well, your last surgeries, it was like 4 to 6 weeks. You could maybe lift 25 pounds or what? He's like, Rob, 6 to 8 weeks, you might be able to start cleaning again, countertop and above. You can't bend down. You can't do any of that. And at 4 months, you might be able to lift 25 to 40 pounds, but we're just going to have to keep an eye on it. I said, okay, but I'm fixed. He said, yeah, you're fixed. I was like, okay. So I came home and I was like, wonder what these patches will do. Because I got a business to run and I don't like hurting. Let me see what these patches will do. God's honest truth. 2 weeks later, I was back to cleaning, hands and knees scrubbing. Yes, my stomach felt like it had been operated on, but I had great energy. I had great mood. On my 4-month anniversary, I won't go through all the numbers, but I ended my sets with reps of 200 pounds on the flat bench, and I wasn't that strong before. Then I was like, what is going on in my body? Then I realized I hadn't cried from pain in over a month and a half. I wasn't using therapy guns on my hands anymore. I wasn't wearing knee braces anymore. And I was like, I didn't feel this good when I was in my 30s. And I haven't even shared with you that since then, the bald spot on the top of my head is filling in. And I'm having to cut my nails every other week because I'm ripping through gloves like I'm Wolverine. I've never, it's the craziest thing that I've ever seen. And there is no way that I could not share this with people, because it literally, it gave me back my life. I seriously, last summer, wasn't sure I wanted it to continue. And now I'm like, I'm so excited of how I feel and what I can help other people with, that I can't not tell people this. So I tried to keep it under 35 minutes, brother.
Oh man. Ooh, dude, you got me all teared up there, brother. And that's
it's the allergies. It's the allergies.
Yeah, exactly. In Oklahoma.
But thank you guys. I just thank you. And David Schmidt, that man, that's an angel walking on earth. That's all I can say.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Rob. I sure
thank you.
Oh man, whoo, that's powerful. All right. So, but the crazy thing is we hear stuff like that all the time. I mean, powerful testimonies like that all the time. So, all right. We're going to get back into kind of sharing our slides. If you can go back to sharing the screen there. And okay, hopefully it says it's paused. Resume. There we go. Okay. All right. So that's a little bit about the product, how it works, what it does, all that stuff. But you know what? One of the best things about an amazing product like this is getting to share it with other people. But the cool thing about this company is it's going to reward us for sharing it with other people. And I don't know about anyone on here, but if you've experienced anything like what we've experienced as far as inflation goes in the last 6 months to a year or however long it's been, it seems like it's going on forever. I want it to go away, but it just seems to keep increasing. The cost of everything is going up. So I do feel like more and more people are looking for a side hustle, looking for a way to bring some additional income into the family. And, when we got introduced to this, it really wasn't about the money, it was about the product, but now it has turned into some additional stream of income, which has completely replaced Heather's income. She is no longer working, and she is a stay-at-home dog mom, which she's been speaking into the universe for about the past year or two.
Putting it out there.
And our son goes to this super expensive tennis academy all day long, and I was like, no way you're quitting your job. We need 2 incomes just to because we didn't plan on having 2 kids in college, even though we got one still at home that's 16 years old, and he's as much as Emma's OSU. So for her to say, I want to be a stay-at-home dog mom, I'm like, no way. And then all of a sudden,
figure it out.
She's been putting it out into the universe. And all of a sudden we get introduced to this product, which has completely changed our life. And then we couldn't not share it with everybody. And so now it's turned into this financial blessing. And so it's just like a double whammy of good in the world. So,
and here's the thing, at my job, we were hiring because I worked in the home industry for an interior designer, and just slammed since the pandemic hit, which was great. I was thankful for the work, but every single applicant that we had wanted remote work. Every single one. That was the question. Can I work from home? So people are looking for ways to work from home and make money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, heck, anywhere you go, it can be the middle of the day. I don't know if it's this way in your city or your town, but we'll be going around going, what do these people do for a living? Why are they out in the middle of the day at Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock? Why aren't they at work? You know, everybody's working from home or remote working, but are they really working? So, so really, when you look at the slide here, it's kind of like, what's important to you? Now, money obviously is not the most important thing, but, you know, I heard Jim Rome say, money isn't everything, but it ranks right up there with oxygen. You kind of need it to live.
Right.
And so, but what's most important in your life? You know, money may not be, but it sure does affect the most important things in your life. Because think about it, if you don't have money versus do having money, what can that do for your family? Or time freedom's a big one, or security, you know, or travel. Maybe somebody wants to travel, but the big one, better health. To me, that one's huge, because you could be like Steve Jobs and be worth $50 billion, but you don't have health. So it doesn't matter how wealthy you are. So to me, better health is the best one on the screen. And we have a product that is helping with that one, but it's also helping with financial health. And then in turn helps our family, helps our time freedom, less debt. We get to travel more. And so, so if you are open to the opportunity of maybe making an additional stream of income, stay with us for a few more minutes, because we want to show you kind of how that can happen. But let's first talk about the potential of the stem cell industry. Like that book that I was reading by Tony Robbins called Life Force, if you want to check out that book. It's a very thick book, and I'm usually intimidated by 700-page books, but it's Tony Robbins, and I've been following him since 1993. So anything that he does, I'm going to read, even if I struggle to read. But anyway, the stem cell therapy industry is becoming very, very popular. Matter of fact, you can pretty much ask anyone, have you heard of stem cells? And a lot of people will tell you, as of now, a lot of people will tell you yes. Now, they've never heard of this piece of technology. It's pretty amazing. The company's been around for 19 years, but no one knows about this company, which is another good reason to be a part of Lifewave. And so people are definitely realizing the benefits of healthy stem cells. And so this industry, the stem cell industry, is expected to explode. Currently, it's about a 200, maybe a little bit more now, maybe $200-300 million industry. Well, heck, Lifewave just did 280 million last year. This is one company that, so, you know, it's probably a little bit more than 300 million now, but it's expected to grow to 300 billion. So all we need is a little piece of that. You know, we've been a part of this industry since 2005, and we were a part of taking a company to $1 billion. And there were 17 couples in Tulsa, Oklahoma that became millionaires. And of course, you know, way more than that nationwide, because of a company that did over $1 billion, because they pay out, these companies pay out about 60% to the field. So if a company does $1 billion, about 600 million is going to be paid out to people like us, sharing, people like you sharing this product. You're just trying to bless someone's health, and in turn, you get blessed financially as well. So this is a huge opportunity that you have your hands on if you're looking for a side income or additional stream of income.
We are the marketing budget
to help your family. Absolutely. You know, David Schmidt isn't paying, doesn't have a multi-million-dollar advertising campaign. We are the advertisers. And this product, it wouldn't do well if it was sitting on a shelf at GNC. It requires a story to be told. So all we do is tell our story. We don't sell. We don't pitch. We tell our story. You know, what's the saying? Facts tell, but stories sell. Mm-hmm. We just tell our story, and that makes people want to use the product. So being a part of the stem cell industry, and especially with a company, this is the only company that has this technology, that has any type of stem cell technology. Yes. So that is huge. It's almost, I don't want to say easy, but it's the easiest thing we've ever done. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how does the compensation work? I don't want to bore you to death with too much of this, but the cool thing about this company is it's a binary, meaning two sides. You have a left team and a right team. Well, what's cool about a binary is, let's say you join and you're going to refer a couple of people. You just put one person on your left and one person on your right. Well, what if I have two more people? Well, guess what? They go below the other 2 people that you already put in. Well, what if I have 5 more people? Well, 3 people go down this side, 2 people go down this side, or vice versa. The great thing about a binary is it grows deep, and everybody that's in that line gets to get paid on every one that's below them, whether they know them or not. So you could be paid up to $25,000 a week, not a year, not even a month, but a week. You could earn just in this part of the compensation plan alone up to $25,000. That's $1 million a year. Now, most people will probably go, I don't know if I could ever see myself making $1 million a year. We couldn't until we did. I mean, this industry can be life-changing if you will go out and share this amazing little piece of technology, this little tool right here. You open your mouth and act like a kid and put stickers on people everywhere you go. I heard somebody say that. I can't remember who it was now. I'd give you credit. But to be paid up to $25,000 a week, and that's just one way. So now this slide right here, the matching bonus, this is even bigger than what we just showed you. So think about it. Let's say you told me and Heather about the patches and we decided to join and we fell in love with the product and we went out and did what we've done so far. I think we personally enrolled 57 people in the 8-9 months that we've been a part of this. And now that's turned into a lot more people. So let's say we made, $1,000 one week. Well, the company pays us $1,000 that week, but because you referred us, the company's going to pay you a 25% matching bonus. So you're going to get paid $250 just because we made $1,000. Now your $250 does not come out of our $1,000 paycheck. We get our $1,000. You get $250 just because you referred us. And this is unlimited. It doesn't matter how many people you refer, you can be paid 25% matching bonus. Let's say you referred 10 people and they all made $1,000 that week. You're going to get paid 25% just because they all made $1,000. So that would be $10,000. You'd be paid $2,500 that week just because you had 10 people that made $1,000. Well, think if you had enrolled Steve and Gina Merritt, or Mike and Sahi Hernandez. Think about these people that or Onyx Cole. Oh my gosh. I mean, think about these people that are maxing out that the first, binary commission that we just showed you at $25,000 a week. Wouldn't you like to get paid 25% of that every single week just because you enrolled them? See, the thing about this is you don't know who's going to do what with it. You could enroll somebody that enrolls somebody that blows it up. Well, guess what? Level 2, second there level that you see, you would be paid 20%. So let's say we enrolled Steve and Gina and you enrolled us. You're going to get a 20% matching bonus on whatever Steve and Gina make. And, let's say they made $20,000 that week, which I think they're probably making a lot more than that. But let's just say it. Well, what's 20% of that? That's $4,000 that week that you would make just because you referred us and we referred them. So I don't want to get too much into this. That's just kind of how that part of the compensation plan works. And if the first slide didn't excite you, then I don't know what will at $1 million a year. But this is what we use to kind of, share with people. You have these little cards, you can get the envelopes, and we'll call people if we can't patch somebody right in front of us, because that's what I love to do. But if we, are reaching out to somebody that's in a different town, a different state, whatever, we get these, we order them from the website, the team website, build331.com. You can go in and order these and put them in the envelopes and send 3, 4, 5 patches to someone and let them try it. Now, I always under promise and let the product over deliver. I tell them, look, maybe 3 patches aren't going to change your life. Maybe 5 patches aren't going to change your life. Now, we do have a lot of people where one patch, we call them a one patch wonder, completely changes their life. Now, that's not everybody though. So I always like to under promise and let the product over deliver. And I tell people, look, you got a 30-day money back guarantee. There is no risk. Order some patches and start using the product. So here's the website. This is our team website. This is where you can go learn how to build the business. All the in steps right there. You click on steps and it'll show you the 9 steps on how to build this business. So thank you again, Onyx Cole, for creating StartX39, which is where you send people to learn about the technology, the patents, the clinical trials, all that. But then Build 331 is our team website. Anyone that's interested in building a business, everything you could possibly want to know about building this business is all right here at build331.com. So, hey, this is it. It's time to make a move. Are you really serious about changing your life? Are you really serious about, maybe you had a dream that, you put on a shelf and you just kind of gave up on your dream? Or, what are kind of options do you have right now in this current market? I mean, wouldn't you want to be pain-free and financially free? So please get back with the person that shared this Zoom with you tonight and tell them that you want to get started. And here is a way that you can get started. This is the order form that we have. Now, they may either send you their link to where you can just do it all online, or if they're in person with you, maybe they gave you one of these order forms. And you'll see on there the bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond pack. I tell everyone, get in where you can financially fit in. We did the diamond pack, which is $1,600, but we knew if Mike was calling me on a product, I knew, because he'd been out of the industry for 5 years. He was kind of retired from the industry. He was in real estate doing very well. He didn't need this for money. When he called me about a product, I knew this product must work. I'm going to take his word for it. And we signed up and we ordered the diamond pack, and we were out of that diamond pack in like a week or two. I was like, can we order another diamond pack? He's like, no, it's kind of a one-time deal. So, but that's us. I don't tell everybody to start there. If you're an individual person and you're just wanting to try the product, bronze is the way to go. If you're, married, you have a spouse, then maybe the silver pack, if you're just wanting to try the product. But, if you're wanting to share this with people, I would say come in at least at the gold level, because that gives you enough product for both you and your spouse to use, and enough product to start sharing, getting it on the streets, patching people, and letting this product kind of change their life. So this screen, take a screenshot of this. These are all the websites that, if you want to get connected with us through in the Facebook group, Onyx Cole's YouTube channel, which is Onyx Cole Network Marketing, you can go back and watch any of these presentations. Go back and watch somebody else's, because they're way better than ours tonight. I think we've seen some amazing people crush these. But then there's the Build 331 and Start X39. So take a screenshot and say, this is how you get connected with everyone. Okay. This is it. All right. We definitely are excited about what's coming up in Tampa, August 18th and 19th. If you were on here, if you stuck with us through this part, you obviously are interested in maybe earning some additional income and building a business. This is where you want to be. That's why we're calling it This Is It. We can't take credit for that. I think it was Gina that came up with this. She was like, this is it. And they're like, well, that's what we're naming it. This is it. So you want to be at I think they've got hotels that are, discounted rate. And I think one of them is already sold out just since announcing this, a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago. But they've got other hotels that are all real close to each other. Absolutely be there. Everybody that will be at this. I mean, in the 18 years that we've been in this industry, we've never missed a convention. And every person that I know that went to those conventions, if the $1 million earners went to every convention there was, they didn't miss it, because your belief level just happens at these. You get to be in the same room with David Schmidt, the developer, the inventor, the scientist that developed these patches, this life-changing technology. You want to be there, plus you get to hear what's coming. And that's even more exciting than what has already happened up to this point. If you think what's happened up to this point is exciting, wait till you hear what's coming. And so you definitely want to be at this event. So go on and get registered. I think the website, let's see, is it... there we go. thisisitconvention.com. Go there, or you can scan the QR code and go get registered ASAP if you're excited about, going with this into. Okay. We have what we call a book of the month club every month. Last year it was How to Win Friends and Influence People. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal book. And if you're not a reader, get the audio. But the May book of the month is Be Obsessed or Be Average by Mr. Grant Cardone. I've followed Grant Cardone for 5-6 years. We actually invested in some of his apartment complex deals, and it's been awesome. But he wrote this book, and you be obsessed or you're just going to be average. And this is a book about being obsessed with not just business, but obsessed with life and your family and your marriage. And it's just about how you can be obsessed with everything in your life, not just business. And everyone on here, the whole quantum field X39 team is obsessed with you winning.
Yes.
And so we are all here to help you succeed. You know, the great thing about this business, and you may have heard this before, is you are in business for yourself, but you are not in business by yourself. We want to help you succeed. We don't get to succeed unless everyone on our team gets to succeed. That's what's great about this model. In a traditional business, people don't share their secrets because they want to keep it themselves, because they want to make all the money. This business model, it's set up to where you share the secrets with your team so they can go be successful. So then you get to be successful. So make sure you get this book, either go buy it or do the audio, but phenomenal book. And Grant's a phenomenal business person, but you definitely want to be obsessed with your finances, be obsessed with your family, be obsessed with your spiritual life, physical life, be obsessed with your health with X39. So make sure that you hop on that book. Now we have Zooms going on all week long. Obviously, Monday nights is what we're doing. Wednesday night is coming up. Steve and Gina and Onyx Cole, they always crush it.
Good one.
And then Mike and Sahi Hernandez always do the Thursday night Zooms. Oh, I guess I'm jumping ahead of myself. I've done this presentation enough. I can do it blindfolded. But anyway, so Mike and Sahi, if you have any Spanish speaking, I'm trying to learn Spanish. You know, we go to this Mexican food restaurant, and I'm always trying to learn a little bit of Spanish so I can talk to them, or at least make them think I can speak Spanish. But anyway, so Mike and Sahi always crush it. They're phenomenal. So if you have any Spanish speaking people, get them on the Zoom Thursday. And then got a great event coming up in West Palm Beach, starting at, well, you want to arrive at about 7:30, but because it's going to start promptly at 8 p.m. Eastern time there. And that's Wednesday, May 10th. And you want to be, if you're anywhere within, several hours of West Palm Beach, you want to be sure and be at this event, because every one of the people that you see right there are crushing it, and they will help you bring people. Yes. Not just yourself, bring people to these events and let these amazing speakers build your business for you.
If you watch Steve and Gina, they're the biggest promoters of everything.
Yes.
So, if they're doing it, that's what we want to do. So we're constantly telling our team about the calls, about the events, and just pointing towards Build 331.
Yep. So, and that's the thing. If you can be a big promoter, you can be a big income earner in this business. Promote the events. Let other people build your business for you. Okay. And then so we've got the, here's kind of, the weekly events. I think I kind of jumped ahead and already said this. We got every Monday night, Wednesday, we've got Fridays at lunch. And then of course, Thursday, we've got the Spanish speaking Zooms as well. And then the 90-day launch to senior director. I mean, senior director is what we've hit. We're definitely trying to get to that senior presidential director. Some people are doing it in record time. Some people it takes. Look, give us 24 months, and we'll help you get to 25,000 a week. Give us 24 months, because what else are you going to do in the next 24 months? The time is going to go by anyway. You give us all of us, Steve and Gina, Onyx, Mike and Sahi. Everybody, you give us 24 months and we will help you get to 25,000 a week. If you get plugged in, go to This Is It convention. I mean, stay plugged in weekly, invite, promote, and you in 2 years will change your life. Okay, so now, hopefully you enjoyed what we brought for you tonight, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into Mondays. We always do this thing called Monday Motivation Message, or Motivation Monday Message. And who doesn't need motivation on a Monday? Not a lot of people like Mondays for, for obvious reasons if they don't love their job. So Monday's probably the best day. So, but if you like what you heard tonight, go ahead and jump off and get with the person that invited you to this Zoom tonight and tell them, I want in. I want some patches on my body. All right. So thank you, everyone. Now we're going to just go right into a little Monday motivation. And, you know, I always think of motivation as what gets you started. So you always want, I mean, think of a song that motivates you, or maybe a certain quote or something. Those are things that can kind of motivate you, but it's your habits that will keep you going. So I love motivation to get me started, but I want to turn whatever it is that I'm wanting to accomplish into a habit, because guess what? Your habits, they don't care if you're tired. But sometimes you just don't feel motivated to do something. But if it's a habit, you do it without even thinking. Think about it. You brush your teeth every day, or at least I hope you brush your teeth every day, hopefully at least twice a day. That's a habit. You do it even if you're tired. You get in the shower every day, even if you're tired. You put on your clothes every day, even if you're tired. So there are habits. I mean, 95% of our life is a habit. So if you can make whatever it is that you want to achieve a habit versus just motivation, then you want the motivation as far as the song that inspires you, or the quote that fires you up, or a YouTube video that you can watch that's going to motivate you and get you going. But then get yourself into a habit, because the habits will change your life. Motivation gets you started, but habits will change your life. Do you have anything that you want to add to the Motivation Monday? I think you had a little something that you wanted to say, or no?
Well, I've just kind of been reading over the book for the month, Be Obsessed or Be Average, by Grant Cardone. And one of the things that he said is being average is not an option if you want to achieve greatness. And thinking about that and just thinking about how that applies to the business, I have never seen anyone be successful who just was half-hearted in the business, who just kind of relied on their upline to send out emails. They took ownership of their business, and they became the promoters of their business, and they were bringing their people along with them. So they weren't, even though we're sending them the reminders, they're not needing the reminders, because they're already on build331.com, getting that information for themselves, becoming obsessed, doing more than what is expected. And we do a weekly call with our team. And, I was thinking about, like, this is a business of creating managers, right? So if you do that in your team and teach that to your team, everybody will succeed from just that one habit. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. And then also, just I say, I know we could never be a Steve and Gina Merritt, but what if we just shoot to be Steve and Gina Merritt? Even if we get halfway there, we're going to be pretty happy with our business. Oh. Our people are going to be pretty happy because we're creating that momentum on our team, and we're taking the responsibility for our team. So
I can just hear Steve and Gina right now saying, you guys can be way bigger than us. I just know them. I guarantee you they're sitting there saying, shoot, you could pass us right up. But anyway, yeah.
So don't wait for that perfect moment, because things will never be perfect. Trust me, I'm a perfectionist. I want things to be perfect, and you just gotta go for it. You
just gotta start marketing. And when you reach out to people, if you're worried about calling someone, or you're nervous, or that means you're thinking of it as selling or pitching. And I have people tell me all the time, I'm just not a good salesman. And I go, great. You're going to be great at this if you're not good, because guess what? No one likes to be sold anything, but they love to buy. Everybody loves to buy when they see the value in something. So think of it this way. You have no problem calling anyone and letting them know about a phenomenal restaurant that you guys went to eat at, or maybe a great movie or series that you watch on Netflix. You have no problem telling somebody about that. Why? Because you're not pitching, you're not selling, you're sharing something with them. So with this business, all you're doing is sharing your story, your testimony, because that's what's going to, goes back to the facts tell, stories sell. If you want to build a big business, share your story. If you don't have a story yet, share our story, share anybody else's story, start sharing stories. And don't look at it like, oh, I'm going to call them, worried about what they're going to say. That means you're pitching, or that means you're thinking about selling. Because again, you have no problem calling anybody about a great restaurant. So just do it. Look at it that way. You are benefiting. You are about to bless somebody. If you come at it, because here's the deal. People feel what you're saying more than they hear what you're saying. And if you're sold out about this product, you absolutely have to share it with them. And when you get to that point, when you cannot shut up about it and you're telling everybody, they feel that and they will join. They will order the product. And so that's our Monday motivation for tonight. Hopefully you got some value from our little spill tonight. And thank you everyone for hopping on. We really appreciate your time. We did keep it right at about an hour. I was hoping to do it in under an hour, but you know, she's such a talker. She never shuts up. Can you tell? All right, everyone. We will see you Wednesday night. And remember, the biggest promoters win. So promote the Zooms, get yourself registered for This Is It convention, and we'll see you on the next Zoom. All right, everyone. Take care. God bless. See you soon.